Oh guys, a northerner was spotted in a video saying that Nigeria will divide should Donald Trump insist that the Sharia law should be abolished in Nigeria. Now, see how this headline captured it, coming from Arewa source. America asking for the removal of Sharia law in Nigeria, and Nigerian Christians supporting this must know that they are inviting a problem that could divide this country. This guy says that Christians are inviting problem in Nigeria if they joined America to ask for the Sharia law removal. Now, this person reacted to that saying, let's divide, long overdue. The North is too much of a liability in this useless marriage, guys. This is what this guy is. This lady, I think it's a lady, she's saying that the North is a liability to the country. Short, let's divide. As this northerner is warning that if America should insist that Sharia law be taken off the country, of this constitution, then it means that Nigeria is going to divide. Now, this headline also says, Nigerian Christians supporting removal of Sharia law must know they are inviting problem. Islamic cleric is the one saying it, guys. Now, you must have heard that one of the requests or one of the steps that the US is taking to end the Christian genocide is asking Nigeria to remove Sharia law, because the US believe that Sharia law supporting the killing of people who do not believe in Islam is one of the reasons why terrorists are going about killing Christians and taking over their lands and all that. So the US is saying remove Sharia law from your constitution to reduce the killings, but the North is insisting that they are not going to do it, that instead Nigeria should divide. Now, talking about insecurity, guys, you must have heard that pregnant women, about 5 of them were kidnapped in a church in Ondo State, guys. This headline says 5 pregnant women were kidnapped last night from Celestial Church of Nigeria, Uzowo local government, the home of Sheila, who claim that Nigeria is the safest place on earth. Now, these women were in Celestial Church of God. They are all pregnant. Possibly they went for prayers and the terrorists came there and picked all of them. That has left the community in a very big shock. Now, talking about Kwara State. Kwara State to spend 180 million naira for Governor Abdulaziz's soundproof generator amid rising terror attacks. So, guys, we know that Kwara State has also been in the news for a very long time now. Terrorists have taken over that community. But see where the governor is spending his money, is buying soundproof generator with 180 million naira. This man cannot guarantee the safety of his people, but see where his priority is, guys. Now, I'm going to allow you to take a look at the reaction coming from Arise TV crew after this attack that happened where pregnant women were kidnapped. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification for more. Thank you.
50 a.m. sent the congregation into a panic as the armed men forcefully whisked the victims away.
A scene of the kidnapping yesterday at Celestial show. So we learned from source that 7 people were taken away, but we were still on the investigation now. So I'm vouching for the whole OIC to take note of this and also pray for the release of one of our members, which have been abducted by the kidnappers, that they should find mercy and grace so they can be released.
Every day, kidnapping up and down. We are in Owo, Benin Expressway now. They block road because of they went to church yesterday. Láti lọ gbé àwọn èèyàn márùn-ún nínú ìjọ tó ń ṣe iṣẹ́ òru. This has been too much in Nigeria. And how much is our security vote? Our security vote can buy this copter that we are saying to track all these people where they are going. Our security vote is enough to buy this copter and track them.
And he's absolutely right. This has become too much, Rufai. I mean, this is unfortunate. Worshippers should never have to fear for their lives in the house of God. Well, the Ondo State Police Command confirmed that operatives in collaboration with the Nigerian Army and local vigilante groups immediately mobilized to the scene and launched coordinated rescue operations, with one of the kidnapped victims successfully rescued. Well, a suspected informant linked to the attack has also been arrested. Well, this latest abduction comes just 4 days after terrorists kidnapped a couple in Akure North. Well, we'll pray for the safe return of all the victims. Rufai, like, you know, that eyewitness mentioned, our security votes are enough to even buy helicopters to, you know, for surveillance and all of that. This is one too many. And, you know, we'll continue to highlight these stories for the security forces at this point. I know we are understaffed, but still.
Oji, it's one day, one trouble. Yes, the president recently talked about state police, but even if you put state police, there's a culture that has festered. if you put state police, I'm not sure you're going to see the result real quickly, because there are also other fears. People use them for their own political game. But there's a culture that has festered. Imagine, when I keep saying there's no security in the country, people think I don't know what I'm saying. I mean, just so what happened. People had to stay on the road for many hours before the security agents came. And after they came, what could they recover? Just only one person. What about the other person that have been kidnapped? And this is within Ondo State. Recently, Iba Gani Adams, the generalism of the Area of Yoruba land, was also talking about the same. And this is a recurring decimal. As it's happening in Kwara, it's happening in Ondo, it's happening in parts of the north, it's happening in every part of this country as we speak today. Have they been able to nip it in the bud? No.
Question.
These guys always go scot-free. They will post ransom. They will get paid the ransom. You remember a couple of years ago when the former Minister of Communication was saying, let's register for NIN so that it's going to be able to fight kidnapping and everything. We've registered for NIN, national identity now. Kidnappers still go scot-free with this activity. Right. So it's a failure of the security architecture. Even if we praise them for that and say, okay, they've done well in some area, but this is indicative of a country where you don't have any security architecture in place to be able to stem the tide. And it's a ticking time bomb.
It is.
But we don't know who's next. They've enveloped most areas in the southwest.
How far is Ondo State from Lagos, Rufai?
See.
No, I want to know, is it...
If the coastal road is effective...
3 to 4 hours.
It's less than that, Ayo. If the coastal road is effective, in fact, there's a bridge route where you can do Ondo to Lekki in 45 minutes. It's the same coastal area now. In fact, I remember when Arakuri was still alive, he came on this show and he was talking about a deal of a bridge he wanted to do with NDDC that was going to take 45 minutes from Ondo to this Lekki corridor here.
Yeah.
What are you saying? Look at Ogun States. Look at Oyo States. Most of this part you are having infiltrations going on.
This is becoming alarming. I mean, the idea about
it is not if the coastal road is effective. The coastal road is still under construction. When it is completed.
Oh, when it's completed, it will be 45 minutes. I mean,
so I'm not sure that bridge I was talking about, that NDDC was going to bridge, was part of the outlay.
But even this new design, when it is completed, it will shrink travel time.
It will shrink travel time.
We used to go to Calabar 12 hours.
Yes.
Even Calabar will be like 4 hours.
But it's becoming alarming, and these kidnappings are happening in the churches at this point. I mean, 12 a.m. in the middle of prayers. This is unfortunate. Meanwhile, the Department of State Services has announced the successful arrest of Sani Yusuf, the sixth suspect linked to the devastating 2022 attack on St. Francis Catholic Church in Owo, Ondo State, which claimed the lives of 40 worshippers. According to a security source, DSS officials had been on Yusuf's trail for years, finally arresting him in the Iwosa community in Ovia North local government area of the state. Yusuf was a highly ranked commander in ISWAP and had briefly relocated to Kanu after the Owo church attack before moving to Edo State. According to the source, he confessed to having been involved in the planning and execution of the massacre. To this day, the Owo church attack remains one of the deadliest in the southwest region, with gunmen setting off explosives and shooting at worshippers during a Pentecost Sunday service in June 2022. Now, we commend the DSS on this. So far, 5 other suspects in connection to the attack are already on trial. And with this latest arrest, it is clear that the secret police are making real progress in holding the perpetrators accountable. More importantly, they are making it public, and that's the transparency that matters. That's what we need to see. But, speaking more on security, meanwhile, kidnapped victims reportedly from the February 3rd terrorist attack on Woro and Nuku communities in Kaima local government area of Kwara State, where almost 200 people were killed and 176 abducted, have been paraded in a very disturbing video circulating on social media. The abductees include children, elderly men, and women in the middle of an unidentified forest. The perpetrators of the attack have been identified as Fulani-linked terrorists, with this video serving as a stark reminder of the fact that they are still living in captivity with no clarity as to when they may regain their freedom. You know, in one hand, we commend the DSS, you know, for the arrest. And, you know, they have been on the trail of this ISWAP leader. I mean, at this point, also would like to charge the DSS, the security forces, to also get those abducted victims. I know that they are doing what they're supposed to do, but all we pray on this table is that these victims return home alive and safe. You know, I guess, Dr. Abati, you can comment on both before I move to the next story.
Very quickly. Now, I think we see a justification here for state police, which the president was just talking about when he met with state governors for breaking of fast a few days ago. Perhaps if we have state police and you have, you know, in all the states of the Federation already endorsed by 36 states and the FCT, perhaps we'll have an improvement. And the president has said they will send an executive bill to the National Assembly, and the National Assembly is also favorably disposed. We can try it. All this talk about governors will abuse it and all of that, we'll look at it.
Yes.
After all, in this same Ondo state, under Governor Aketi, that's Governor Rotimi Akeredolu of SAN, you know, it was this insecurity that led to the issue of Amotekun and other similar initiatives in other parts of the country. Second, this is also a case, it seems to me, for collaboration.
Yes.
The security agencies have always been saying, look, security challenge is a collective responsibility. Look at the Yusuf that you mentioned.
Yes.
He was involved in our attack in June 2022. He was involved in kidnapping in Kaduna. He was involved in the killing of soldiers in Suleja in Niger State. And then the man just killed people in 2022, and he went to Igosa community in Edo State, and has been hiding there for the past 4 years before the DSS, focusing on the problem and, you know, remaining vigilant, fished him out.
Yes.
Perhaps if the people in Igosa had, you know, given police or the DSS information before now, they will have said there is a stranger in this town, this sleepy community. Where is he coming from? So there is also a role. Now, and why our local government? In 2022, it was our local government area. This year, it is Uso. In the same our local government area. Is there something about that location that is the problem? Very that has to be investigated. Because we have Professor Akintenewa, a member of this family in that Owo, and he's also a Celestial chief. So when I saw Celestial Church, I said, the first person that came to my mind is that nothing must happen to our professor.
Nothing must happen to our professor.
You know, security is important in that place just as in other places.
Yes.
And then to just close the subject, it's about this idea of night vigil, early morning prayers. There's nothing against people worshiping and exercising their right to freedom of thought. But do you know that some church denominations, I think the Anglican Church, for a time, I don't know whether the order is still there, I said, people should not come to church for early morning service. They should not do night vigil. You know, just do it during daytime so that you protect yourself. Even the Church of Christ, or, you know, in Nigeria, may have to re-strategize. This idea of going to...
so they should deny their own liberties because the state can't provide security.
No. I'm not saying
religious oppression.
No, I'm not
what
saying,
about the people that kidnap driving on the road?
I'm not saying...
They should not travel in the afternoon.
I'm not saying they should not worship.
That's what you're saying.
They should not worship, but heaven helps those who help themselves.
No, Doctor, but that's not
the final challenge is for government to pay more. I'm not denying their right. You know, I understand what the Constitution says about freedom of thought. But the bigger challenge is for government to solve the problem.
Yes, that is the main point.
To focus more on security and to make sure that people like Yusuf don't run from Kanu to Igosa and hide.
All right.
So
we want to see more of that. The government must do their job. Like we earlier commended the DSS. We want to see more of this sort of arrest. And I hope that those kidnapped victims return home unharmed. Now to an exclusive interview making waves internationally. Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has pushed back strongly against claims that Christians are being systematically exterminated in Nigeria. The First Lady told CBN News in Washington that the violence in Nigeria is rooted in poverty, terrorism, and political instability rather than religious persecution. She warned that labeling it genocide could actually embolden the very terrorists carrying out the attacks. Let's take a look.
Is there genocide in Nigeria?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so because when you look at these areas, it was first the headers conflict, and it has been there for years. And when you're coming into an environment that are mainly Christians, when you attack them because you go into their farmlands, and then when you have terrorists and people kidnapping for money, and when the world is throwing a narrative that is Christian genocide, they will now hit on that and begin to attack churches. And you should remember, we're getting into the election year. So there are a lot of things going on that, we don't believe that, it's really genocide the way it's being portrayed.
All right, this is a deeply complex and sensitive issue. The First Lady's words have sparked a debate both at home and among Nigerians in the diaspora. As critics argue, the numbers tell a different story. According to Open Doors World Watch list, over 70% of Christians killed worldwide in recent years have died in Nigeria. Ayo, the First Lady, is re-echoing the federal government stance that there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. Your thoughts?
I don't think we should be surprised at that. She's married to the president. I don't expect her to go on an international platform like that and say that, yes, there's Christian genocide, when the government's position has consistently been that there isn't. However, what I would prefer for this government, and perhaps the First Lady, in using her soft power diplomacy, in granting interviews to convince the international community, particularly the United States of America, is to provide alternative facts. The people, the constituents themselves, people who live in these areas, have consistently said that there is, in fact, Christian genocide and, persecution based on their faith. The Christian Association of Nigeria has spoken out. The Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria has spoken out. There are religious leaders in the Middle Belt who have spoken out. And this is not just under the Tinubu administration. It's been there consistently before. And the only time their voices were amplified was when President Trump made that tweet. It has been there consistently. The videos of mass graves have been on consistently. And so what I would prefer, rather than just saying, I don't think so, and I mean, she's entitled to her personal opinion on that, but would be provide facts. This is the reason why I believe this isn't, because the others have shown proof. They've shown mass graves, they've talked about churches being burnt. Now they're even advising us not to go and worship in the way that we want to worship. But Dr. Wati says stop the church. You can't ask people not to express their religious rights based on violence. It means that you're confirming the fact that the state has failed in providing security for Christians in the country. And so, like I said, she would say what she would say. But the truth is that the more they deny it, the more they do an injustice to the number of Christians who have been killed in the Middle Belt, in the north, in different parts of Nigeria, and the more they are playing ostrich with facing the problem. Right. I thought this was a fine moment for the Nigerian government to finally tackle this challenge and this issue that a number of Christians have cried out for a very long time. But unfortunately, it seems that they're taking the way out of just denial. But the issue persists. I'm not saying, because two truths can exist at the same time, that there are no more complex issues around herder clashes and all. But we're saying alongside that is a particular target at a particular Christian group. I also want to say that can she grant the local media interviews as well? We've seen a lot of international appearances. It would be great to have her engage with Nigerian journalists as well, and let us, fact for fact, conversation for conversation, and talk about this.
Okay, in this same interview, I want to read a part of it. She personally recounted facing persecution due to her interfaith marriage, being a Pentecostal and married to President Bola Tinubu. Specifically, a Muslim cleric publicly called her heathen and suggested that she should be stoned for openly practicing Christianity. But she noted that many who defended her against this threat were from the north, highlighting nuanced religious dynamics. Doesn't she answer the question for us?
Yes, she actually.
If it's a country that is free of persecution, should she marrying a Muslim be a problem in the first place? You see, with her own mouths, despite the fact that they try to deny, you see, hey God, Ayinla Omowura said something famously. Ayinla Omowura said, "Asoju oro iro ni mu wa." When you talk too much, you start to lie. The truth is, in this case, with her own mouth, she has come out to say that she herself also faced persecution. They keep saying there's no persecution in this country. Let's say the truth.
As a student of literature,
yes,
the part of her statement that I would take is a statement that religious issues in Nigeria are far more complex and nuanced than it is presented. The emphasis is on the nuance.
Right.
In other words, there isn't a single narrative, to just say, Christians are being persecuted. What she's saying really is that there are many dimensions to the story rather than a single narrative.
She confirmed persecution.
Right. You are right, Rufai.
I said all of us are involved.
Yes.
The major challenge is insecurity in Nigeria, and the Nigerian government is trying to address it by seeking the cooperation of the United States and other countries. Solving the problem is where the challenge is, not about personal testimony.
I disagree with the Nigerian government approach, Oji, please. It's the fact that they are not addressing the problem by partnering with America alone. They are addressing the problem by going on a propaganda spin. Dr. Abati, we here, we are not children. We see it. We know about the $9 million being spent. If you have a problem, you don't need to spend $9 million to be going to talking to CBN and conservative media. Fix the problem. When you fix the problem, we Nigerians will go ahead and say the problem.
No, the emphasis is not propaganda.
It's propaganda.
Are you also aware, as somebody who has a microphone, that there are troops, American troops that are here. There are countries collaborating with Nigeria. That's part of the effort.
All right. Can I moderate this plan? Can I moderate this plan?
It's not about propaganda.
May I moderate this panel?
That's a one-sided narrative.
May I moderate this panel?
Please go ahead.
May I? All right. Thank you. You are absolutely right, Dr. Abati, about the nuance in her statement. And you're also right, Rufai, about the fact that she did admit persecution.
Simplicity.
But what she actually is against is to term the whole issue around the word genocide. Well, the First Lady also used the Washington visit to thank President Trump for the Christmas Day missile strikes against terrorist holdouts, saying it was the first Christmas in recent memory where no church was attacked. I believe she did have a successful visit there in Washington. Let's now turn our attention to the drama surrounding the exit of the outgoing Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun. The Nigerian police force has now been forced to respond to allegations first raised by activist Omoyele Sowore that 100 million naira from Anambra State security vote account was transferred into the personal bank account of Kayode Egbetokun's son, Victor Egbetokun. Back in January, Showere's Sahara reporters first published the explosive investigative report detailing transactions from September 2025, alleging the funds were moved from the Anambra State security vote account at Sterling Bank into Victor's personal Zenith Bank account in 4 tranches of 25 million naira each. The report further alleged that while the funds were electronically reversed, on September 29th, they were subsequently withdrawn in cash and redeposited into the same account days later. Police spokesperson Benjamin Hundeyin, speaking on live television, dismissed any insinuation of wrongdoing, insisting that the transaction was nothing more than a banking error that was promptly detected and reversed.
It doesn't really make any sense for you to just wake up and commence a campaign of calumny against him. Oh, you could remember when he said, 100 million naira was paid into the account of the son of the IGP. And you know, I called the son of the IGP immediately to find out what happened, and he explained that yes, I saw 100 million in my account, and I told my account officer to reverse the money immediately, which he did. He printed out his statement of account, he showed me, he sent it to me, I saw it, which he did. Only for Sharia reporters to say, oh yes, the money was returned, then cash was withdrawn again and paid into the IGP's son's account again. And I saw the statement of account. There was nothing like that. In fact, exposing the details of the account and everything, the young man was forced to close down that account so that people would not use it to commit any other form of mischief. In any case, he has written a petition to the EFCC for that allegation to be investigated. And if it turns out that it's false, then we can invoke the EFCC would invoke the Cyber Crimes Act for cyberbullying.
All right, Rufai, I know you have a lot to say, but let me take Omoyele Showore's tweet. In response to that interview, he wrote, this Boy Scout, Benjamin Hundeyin, who was illegally promoted to ACP by the now fired illegal IGP, admitted that Victor Egbetokun received 100 million naira from the Anambra Security Fund by accident. And because I spoke about it, Egbetokun was going to use the EFCC chairman to charge me with cyber crime. Benjamin Hundeyin should be stripped of his illegally awarded promotion and returned to work as a divisional transport officer, DTO, at a regular police station. These incompetent people should not be allowed anywhere near any serious formation. And you know, Omoyele Showore has a way with his words. No, but you know, he was the first to release this, story. And, you know, the police spokesperson did confirm that it actually happened. But, you know, Rufai, go ahead.
You see, Beno, you are my person, no. But yeah, that example, that analogy you give, Beno, I know it's your guy before. You will have not just put mouth in the matter. I know you are spokesperson, no, but that your argument no make them at all. Like we were asking in the studio, why is it not Dr. Abati's account that transfer?
I
mistakenly go to.
I claim it in the name of Jesus.
Dr. Abati, that's fraud.
Prayers answered.
That's fraud. Let Nigerians not mix prayers.
Why is it the son of the serving IG that security votes money?
We go to church to pray.
Went to famous. Why is it not Dr. Abati's account?
So long.
Did that money go to? Why is it the son of the IG?
All right.
The question we should ask is, you know, I said this thing yesterday.
It's a coincidence.
When I said it, this is Dr. Abati here, I will call you out today. When I said this is Dr. Abati here. Dr. Abati said, that's not the substantive issue. It's the issue that the IG, there's a new IG in town. Whatever may lead to the president leaving him out of it, it's not substantive. Mm-hmm. Dr. Abati. Bí òwe là ń lùlù àgídìgbò. Ọlọ́gbọ́n ní gbọ́ ọmọràn ní sí mọ́. It is like the way that we are beating the agidigbo.
What? No, you have to say.
When you engage as a drummer, you are not here to command.
We have
as a drummer.
Yes.
Just be fair and balanced.
Dr. Abati.
No, tell us in English.
No, be away la lulu agidigbo means like, you know, like proverbs that's what we beat the drum called the agidigbo.
Okay, all right.
And the interpretation connotes a lot. Mm-hmm. Please, with due respect, Egbetokun should be made, if we had a country, because as we speak now, I don't think we have anything similar of a country. If we had a country, by today, Egbetokun should have gone to report himself in front of EFCC.
All right.
This explanation Ben Hundeyin is trying to do on TV that is not working, it should be Egbetokun that should be explaining to the EFCC.
All right.
But nothing will happen.
Okay.
That's the sad part. We don't have a country.
All right. Well, meanwhile, in a video now trending on social media, Showore confronted Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, in an Abuja conference room during a meeting Umahi allegedly set up with Tracy Nita Ohiri, a woman who was accused the minister of owing her 250 million naira. Showore released the video on his X account stating that Ohiri was illegally arrested in Lagos on allegations of cyberbullying. She says the minister has owed her millions for over 12 years for campaign materials she provided during his 2014 governorship campaign. Let's take a look at the altercation between Showore and the minister.
But Minister, this Showore, you are not supposed to be using police to settle personal scores. You're not supposed to do that.
Have you watched everything she has said?
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the Minister of the Federal Republic. You are not supposed to use police to settle personal scores.
Joe, calm down. What's your order?
I'm talking to you now.
No, you can't be.
Listen, no. Don't push me.
I'll talk to you.
Don't talk to me anyhow.
Who are you?
Don't talk to me anyhow.
Well, all right, in a statement from his media aide on Wednesday, Umahi defended the meeting, saying that the Nigerian police force, acting within its constitutional mandate to maintain law and order and investigate complaints, acted on a petition submitted by the minister's lawyer, arrested her and invited the honorable minister in line with standard procedure for statesmen. He then called this interaction a calculated attempt to provoke him, adding that Ohiri's accounts have been inconsistent, contradictory, and lacking coherence. The minister has denied ever knowing, meeting this woman. He says he doesn't know this woman. I wish we had time to discuss this story, but I guess it's an unfolding story, and we will follow up on it. Well, now under milestones. As Nigeria welcomes its 23rd Inspector General of Police, we take a moment to highlight the remarkable journey of the man President Tinubu has chosen to lead the Nigeria Police Force, Olatunji Rilwan Disu. Born on April 13, 1966, on Lagos Island, Disu attended Holy Cross Cathedral Primary School before proceeding to St. Gregory's College in Lagos. A scholar and a fighter, Disu holds multiple degrees, including a master's in criminology from Lagos State University, and is a third Dan black belt judo practitioner who won a silver medal at the 33rd U.S. Open Judo Championship in 2022. Disu enlisted in the Nigerian Police Force in 1992 as a cadet assistant superintendent, and his very first major posting was as aide-de-camp to the then Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Lagos State, a full-circle moment, as Tinubu, who is now president, is the one who elevated him to the nation's top police job over 3 decades later. His career reads like a masterclass in Nigerian law enforcement, from commanding SARS units across Rivers, Ondo, and Oyo states to leading Nigeria's first police contingent to the African Union peacekeeping mission in Darfur in 2005, where he served as acting chief of staff from 2015 to 2021. He commanded the Lagos Rapid Response Squad, famously rebranding officers as the good guys, reducing crime through community policing. He later headed the Police Intelligence Response Unit, cracking down on fraud syndicates nationwide, while upon assuming office at the force headquarters for his new role as Nigeria's 23rd IGP, Disu described his appointment as humbling and deeply emotional, saying it came completely unexpectedly.
It means a lot to me because I have the love of my profession, the love of the country, and it came at a time I was not expecting it. That made me give thanks to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The President mentioning a lot of activities about me, mentioning areas I've worked, mentioning successes I've recorded as a policeman, brought emotion to me, almost brought me to tears. It shows the President took his time to monitor officers working everywhere in the country, and it shows the President was throwing a challenge at me to go out there and do what I'm known for and ensure that I bring peace, recognition, and to the country.
All right, well, from ADC to a younger Governor Tinubu to Inspector General of police under President Tinubu. The Disu story is extraordinary. Well, congratulations to the new IG. We wish him every success in this enormous task that lies ahead. Nigeria is counting on you. Real congratulations. Yes. I know that there's been a lot of, talk about whether he was right for the job and nepotism and all of that, but I have read his credentials, and that's why I thought to highlight his milestone. Congratulations. Congratulations.
And indeed, the task is
well, all right. We'll take our good news report, where we're celebrating Grammy-winning superstar Burna Boy, who has quietly funded a massive transformation of facilities at the Federal Polytechnic Nasarawa, revealed to the world by social media activist and NGO founder, Very Dark Man, in a viral 11-minute video posted on Monday. Well, the project was executed through VDM's Martins Vincent O'Shea Initiative NGO, and it includes a complete overhaul of the Polytechnic's Medical Center. VDM praised Burna Boy for his low-key philanthropy, revealing that the artist has secretly funded multiple projects through his NGO, including over 140 million naira for borehole projects across several states and funds for prison releases, all without seeking public credit. The 11-minute video, which has since gone viral on social media, features before and after footage, meetings with school officials, students, and community leaders expressing heartfelt gratitude. The campus now even boasts of a brand new bus stop, officially named the Burna Boy Bus Stop. What a remarkable show of quiet, purposeful generosity. In a country where infrastructure in our tertiary institution remains a serious challenge, Burna Boy is putting his money where it matters most and doing it without fanfare. Congratulations to Burna Boy and Very Dark Man for this outstanding contribution to Nigerian education and healthcare. Well, I mean, this is huge, huge, huge. I love this sort of collaboration. I mean, Nasarawa, like you were saying, has been a very rich state, but, it's good to see that we have our philanthropists like Burna Boy, VDM, and, people like you. Ayo. Yes, we're hoping that you will contribute as well. Well, on that note, I'd love to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on what.
For Boko Haram, Islam, different names are coming up. I will not say we have been told that Boko Haram is not as serious as they were. They are not as viable or potent as they were. You understand? Therefore, some foreign persons are not coming. The Nigerian government is telling us that these are French-speaking persons. What they are telling us in lesson is that we are aware of the situation. The Nigerian government are taking responsibility. They are taking responsibility that our people are being terrorized. Our people are being killed on a daily basis. Our people are being kidnapped, but these are the persons doing it. To me, that is a step. What we should be demanding from Nigeria, I agree with the Nigerian government that there are killings. Killings is not only related to the terrorism, is not only, as I last time was monitoring the international news, when I scored the Mexicans, when they also passed through there. And I'm not only doing for the Nigerian government, but I'm telling you that these are their position. To me, they are not equipped in terms of information gathering. They are not more equipped in how they will tackle. Since we don't know who we are fighting, I think it would be better for the government, when I say we government, to also provide solution and tackle these terrorists. Because now the matter is getting closer. Who are you going to take? Mr. Koro, who are you going to take more serious? Is it the Nigerian government giving you information? All those people were kidnapped a year ago. People who were kidnapped 2 years ago. Thank you very much. All the government is sending you today.
Coming well. Well, thank you very much. Let's bring the other guests into the conversation as well. We have Honorable Egwatu. Honorable Egwatu. Good morning to you. Welcome to the conversation. Now, some would say, does it matter what language, what tongue terrorists speak? Should that bother us really? Because Nigerians are saying our people are being killed. People are being driven from their ancestral land. Their houses are burned. Women and children are killed. And we hear people are kidnapped as well. 200 and, in fact, between January and February 23, record has it that over 323 people, Nigerians, have been killed by terrorists. So, what tongue terrorists speak? Is that what we should be talking about at this time? Or ensuring the safety of Nigerians? This statement made by the Secretary to the government of the Federation, does it give you, how does it make you feel? Do you have do you feel like government is serious in dealing with this issue at all? But if you have a question and you were to react, you might need to unmute your device so we can get your audio feed. All right, unfortunately, we can't get audio from Comrade Roy. I beg your pardon, Comrade Ejiofor Egwatu. We can't get audio, so I'll bring you back to the studio.
I'm here. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Go right ahead, please.
Okay, I think the best thing I was expecting to hear something from the Secretary to the federal government after telling us they have identified these terrorists as French-speaking. We are expecting to hear the efforts the government is now employing to drive away the French-speaking terrorists. I was expecting to hear what the government has done to get these French-speaking terrorists arrested, and then what they have done about them. Just telling us they are French-speaking is like...
I'll tell you what they've done. I mean, that was going to be my next question, actually. He said the president's visit, within the same breath, he said the president's visit to Turkey was to acquire drones. That's something that they've done. But what have we seen in the past days? We've seen terrorists acquire drones that could, bomb camps just by being controlled from a remote location. So you start to, I don't know.
It's obvious the terrorists are getting more technically fit. It's obvious they are being, so much money is being pumped into that terrorism. And I think the government needs to attack their source of income. Who are behind this sponsorship? I don't think it's just the money they realize from kidnapping and all the rest of them. Somebody mentioned mining industry and some economic factors. The government should look at this thing. This terrorism is taking a new shape. It's taking a new form. The people who are dying in Nigeria, we need to be very sure of government effort to stop this killing. The most important thing is that these killings are stopped completely. The most important thing is that Nigerians are free to move around in their respective villages, homes, and abroad without fear of terrorism, without fear of attack. So the kind of technology they are employing is an uncomfortable situation. Government should do much more than it is doing now. This is a very pathetic situation. Government should do much more than they are doing now.
All right.
You can't tell me that the Nigerian government is about to obtain drones. How now? We should have had enough drones now before now. What about the funding? The military in the Nigerian budget, the military is getting a large chunk of budgetary allocation, and it's also getting a large chunk of releases. So many infrastructure developments are not getting as much releases as the military is getting just for the fight of this terrorism. And so we should see them acquiring everything that they need. Acquiring drones shouldn't be a news for every Nigerian to jump at. We're supposed to be the giant of Africa. How can acquiring drones become new? Drones have always been used by so many countries long years before now, and Nigeria should not be found wanting of that.
All right,
so acquiring drones is not a very palatable news.
Okay, so that's not a palatable one, but some will say that at least that will reduce the number of men that will be found in the theater of war, because with drones you need lesser men on ground. That's what I mean. That's the argument that some will put forward. Prince Francis Chilaka, let me take you up on this. This drone acquisition from Turkey, as said by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, reacting to foreign terrorists, foreign individuals that are in Nigeria. Now, if you followed the past few days, like I said, now the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, is saying this. But sometime last week, we heard that terrorists acquired about 35 drones. Does it seem like there's a sabotage somewhere? Because of government, and if you follow up the visits of the president to Turkey and the relationship Nigeria has had with Turkey, you will understand that they have constantly warned Nigeria about the presence of a terrorist group in Nigeria, who they say are embedded in charitable work, hospitals, schools, and the rest of them. They've told Nigerians that these people are here, drive them away. Now, the president going there gave some Nigerians the impression that yes, he's beginning to align. But right after that visit, there was an acquisition on the other side. Is there a sabotage somewhere?
When we talk about sabotage, I mean, I'm happy. Somebody said, "Oh, I'm happy. Government has identified the problem," and like we say, you can only solve the problem when you identify. You can find a solution when you identify the problem. First and foremost, Okoro asked a question, very pertinent question. He said, "Who do you believe? Do you believe the man that comes to your house to maim, to rape, and to kill your children, or he speaks a language you're a bit familiar with? You understand what I'm saying? He speaks a language you're familiar with. Maybe it's Igbo, maybe it's Hausa, maybe it's Fulfulde. He speaks. Or do you believe somebody who stays outside and insinuating that this man is speaking this language?" So, until we balance that, I would believe the man that was attacked. Because the man that was attacked has the first-hand information. He knows who attacked him. He understands the language they spoke. So for government to now come and say, "Oh, these guys are speaking," government is just trying to take Nigerians' mind out of the reality. If they say they speak French, for instance, are they the ones occupying the land, the ancestral homes of people that have been chased into IDP camps?
And renaming the LGs in those places?
Yes, so if they're the ones, and they're foreigners, why have you not decimated them? We must look at this critically. We're not dummies in this country anymore. Nigerians have become more aware. Nigerians have become more educated. So if you're telling me that, oh, they are foreigners, so foreigners have taken over, let's say, a community relationship, foreigners have taken it over. And the government feels that the best way to address it is to pamper them. They're not your citizens.
If they're not.
Your loyalty lies with your citizens. So you must take them out.
All right.
And return your citizens back to their ancestral homes. Then we now know that, okay, yes, it is foreigners. That's on the one side. On the other side, this, call them whatever name you want, terrorists or whatever, these guys are making so much money. Because we were saying that they bought drones. Did they just go to the market to pick it? They bought them with money. How did they do the transfer? Who paid for the drones? Are you saying that you can no longer track transactions? Okay, the way you and I are sitting down here now, if 100 billion hit our account, EFCC will track it. CBN will track it. Why are they not able to track how these guys are buying this equipment? And why is it that the government has kept quiet, very silent? And that silence is the fact that, first of all, we heard that list was given to the former late president. Nobody's talking about it. Why is government finding it difficult to come and name those who are sponsoring banditry in Nigeria? Why?
Can we also talk about the fact that it appears like there's a lot of complicity and lack of political will? Because why do you think these bandits would actually write to a community, get this place, and ask them to pay 100 million naira protection fee. You know what exactly is happening?
When you allow non-state actors to wield so much power, you embolden them. When this thing started, when they started holding these meetings, we were here, we said this is wrong. This should not be encouraged. You cannot tell me that, we hear this story about vampires, and they say vampires live on human blood. And then you have 10 children, and you go and start negotiating with a vampire that needs the blood of your children to survive. Do you think you will spare any of them? Nobody tests sugar and spits it out.
Okay. All right, Prince. We'll come back to you. Now, let's quickly run to Comrade Splendor Oko, who is also with us on this show. Now, Comrade, I'm sure you have followed this conversation. If the federal government is coming to tell us that the people that are killing Nigerians, our citizens, are French-speaking people, does it look to you like this problem has been internationalized? Does it take in an international dimension? Mind you, we have ISWAP here, Islamic State West Africa province, an offshoot of ISIS. We also told that Lakorawa came in through the borders from Sokoto State. So do you see an internationalization of this problem to the extent that we might just have some people, proxies, sponsoring this war against Nigeria? And to what end would that be?
Thank you so much, Mr. Okoro. I will start by saying that I'm highly disappointed from the statement made by the Secretary to the Federal Government, Senator George Akume, by stating that the terrorists who are killing Nigerians, who are abducting Nigerians, who are causing mayhem to the citizens of this country, speak French. Let me tell you, Mr. Okoro, we are not interested in the language the terrorists speak. We are interested in making sure that these terrorists are completely annihilated from this country. That is the interest of Nigerians. Whether they speak Latin, or they speak Voodoo, or they speak French, is not our business. Let me also tell you that it is very disheartening that these terrorists have wielded much power that they can attack states like Zamfara, Benue State, Katsina State, Kwara State, Kebbi State, Niger State. They are gradually taking over the country. And the government is coming out to tell us that they have identified that they speak more of French. The government is telling us that they have gone to acquire drones. Is that supposed to be a solution to this? For me, when this thing started, I said, you don't pay compensation, you don't bargain, you don't dialogue with terrorists. Well, once you find out that a certain group are terrorists in the country, the next thing you do is to make sure you take them out of the surface of the country. That is it. You don't bargain with terrorists. You don't dialogue with terrorists. Now these terrorists are beginning to, conquer the citizens, beginning to chase the citizens out of their ancestral home, and beginning to take over. Just like we all know that in Benue State, for instance, these terrorists struck Benue State, chased out the people who are native owners of the land, occupied the place, and the people who were so attacked in Benue State came out to say that these people speak Fudu language. They didn't say that they speak French. These are people who witnessed that attack. They are victims of that attack, and they have said they speak Fudu. Then the federal government, through the secretary to the federal government, is now telling us that these people speak French. For me, whether they speak Fudu or they speak French, Nigerians are
Splendor. Okay, I want us to expand and deepen this conversation. I want us to talk about the probable internationalization of this problem. recall that at some point we had ECOWAS, 3 countries, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, left the ECOWAS and formed the Alliance of Sahel States. Now, at that time, our president was the chairman of ECOWAS, heads of government and all of that. And we also know that at some point we had a problem with Niger. If we take away ISWAP, Islamic State West Africa, more like a proxy for some Middle East organization that might be interested in having a foothold in West Africa and Nigeria, the arc between the Chad Basin and all of that could be, their flashpoint. If we take that away, does it look like the Alliance of Sahel States, maybe from Mali, that route we also, before insecurity made on us, we had a situation where it was a traveling route for the smuggling of light arms and ammunition. Could it be these French people are not happy with Nigeria and trying to say, okay, since you want to cause trouble for us, let us also cause trouble for you? Is it probable that that's what we are seeing? Can you help us make sense of it? What do you think? What do you know? I want us to talk about the international aspect.
Guys, let me quickly take you through how some Nigerians have reacted to this northern cleric who was spotted in a video saying America asking for the removal of Sharia in Nigeria, and Nigerian Christians supporting this must know that they are inviting a problem that could divide this country. This is coming from an Islamic cleric, and Nigerians have reacted like this person. First person say let's divide, long overdue. The North is too much of a liability in this useless marriage. Another person here say, why does it look like the North isn't interested in having Islamic Republic of Arewa, where they can have their own country and take it 2 or 3 centuries backwards in absolute peace? With the North, we are in an unhealthy relationship. They bring little to nothing to the table to cause us this much pain. Another person here said, these are the people drawing Nigeria backward. If Sharia is really working, some Muslim politicians are not supposed to be working with 2 hands. We are not meant to live with animals or terrorists. That's what we are praying for. Make everybody go their way. How can goat and lion be living together, all in the name of one Nigeria? We aren't one and can never be one. It's a welcome development, nice one. So shall it be. Nigeria is too big to live with people who think they can do what they want without consequences. This is a Fulani hiding behind Arewa to spit nonsense. They will usually employ religion to appeal to emotions of gullibles. Among other ethnic nationalities, they are subjugated. Many Hausa Muslims who are politically aware and are seen recently will never support this opinion. So guys, this man who is a northern cleric was spotted in a video saying instead of them to give up Sharia, Nigeria better splits. And people are saying, oh, the North has not brought much to the table. One would just keep wondering, what is the North bringing to the table? They say they are giving us food, that agriculture belongs to them. Okay, so without agriculture, does it mean Nigerians will go hungry? That's the question. And they drill the oil in the South. They take it to the North. They put it in security that the North is bringing to Nigeria. The insecurity. They use it short. The Northerners are really dragging Nigeria backward. You can imagine if the amount of money we invest in fighting insecurity was used to develop this country. I mean, this country would have been another Dubai. We spend a whole lot of money in insecurity and still we are not winning the war. Guys, I don't know what you make of this. Many people have been reacting like this person said, these are parasites. They know any day Nigeria divide, the world will know how empty they are. The world will see how backward and useless they are. If not that Yoruba is supporting Fulani, they won't have the guts to keep people with some evil politicians, those Fulani slaves. And this other person here say the division of this criminally instituted entity called Nigeria is long overdue. 90% components part of the entity are not happy with the country. Of what benefit is the united Nigeria to the life of an average citizen? Massacre daily. And this person, there are a lot of things we are yet to understand. Honestly, this country is in a delicate phase and needs visionaries who are selfless to navigate the leadership problem and the economic problem, the governance in this country could be 10 times better. Let's see where we get to in the next years to come. And this other person here said, so of what benefits the use of the marriage at the moment if threat like this is the available option to a part of the union? I believe that there is a free will or separation for the world to experience the peace and rest it deserves. Guys, this is really so pathetic, you know. The North is not even seeing the problem they are causing for the country. Just because Trump still removed Sharia law, now they are bringing negative emotions to it. Anyway, let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification for more updates. Thank you.